Good morning, YouTube friends. Just set up the tripod. Morning coffee. And I just got back from the post office. This is the future project that I mentioned in my other video about the winter project coming up. When I went over my little Kenwood radio there that I got, which was kind of a side thing. My daughter's radio is my #1 priority as far as what I'm actually working on. That will be the next actual video I have of me doing some electronic work. But this here is the project for the winter, and it's something I've wanted for a long time. As long as I think I've been interested in ham radio, just about. And finally decided it was time to do it. And I'll discuss why I waited somewhat when I open it. And you see what it is. Of course, I make these videos, and I always, I end up posting on the video what the video's about anyway. And it's not really a surprise, because if you read the title of the video, you see the title before you see what I'm opening. Some of you may be familiar with this, some of you may not. If you're a ham radio operator yourself, you may very well know what it is. It is something from Elecraft. If you've never heard of Elecraft, they are a ham radio company based in the United States, out in California. Their most popular thing right now is the K3 big radio here you see in this brochure with an amplifier and everything. That's not what this is. This is, wow, a lot of stuff in here. The Elecraft K2 transceiver kit. And this manual is pretty thick, because this is the instructions on how to build it. It's not put together. And part of the reason, this is errata, which means extra stuff they added later on after they printed the manual. Part of the reason I've waited a while to buy this, part of the reason, is I didn't feel I had the best building skills to be competent to build a radio. Now this, you'll see, is 160 to 10 meter single sideband CW transceiver, but I did buy just the base kit, so I have 80 to 10 meters and it's only CW. There's an additional single sideband module that you can buy and build. There's an additional 160 meter module that you can buy and build, among other ones. And I will likely get some of those in the future, but I only bought the base kit. And I bought the noise blanker. I bought the noise blanker because I have a lot of noise where I live, and I know I'm going to need a noise blanker to filter the noise on the receiver. So this is the instruction manual, which I'm not going to go through. We're just going to quickly look at I just want to show you the complexity of it. Very detailed. The #1 thing people say about this radio is this manual is excellent, and if you don't have a good manual on how to build something, you've got to have good instructions. It's more important sometimes than what's in the kit. This is the noise blanker kit. Bunch of parts and a little circuit board. You build that separate and that plugs into it. There's lots of stuff in here, and I don't want to yank it all out of here in one big swoop and drop things. You build the whole thing. I mean, all the ICs are in here. You totally populate the board. There's nothing surface mount, it's all through hole. You wind your own inductors. Run your own wires. Those are mostly inductor wires. Those are all the ferrite cores and the resistors and whatnot. And each one of these is well labeled, tells you exactly what they are, and that all corresponds with the instructions from what I've read about this online. VFO encoder assembly, there's the knob and the VFO. So you can tell, you can get a sense of how many parts there are in this thing. This is all the screws, this is the bail for the bottom. Another circuit board, more ICs, pretty big circuit board, a lot of stuff goes on that one, pretty good size. I think I'm zoomed out okay. I could zoom out a little more. Doing it on the tripod because I don't want to be shaky. This is the control head, which is another circuit board and a lot more parts. And there's the main circuit board that goes inside it. So you have one big main circuit board, and then you have two other boards that go at either end of it, the front board and the back board. And then of course if you buy the additional kits, modules we'll call them, you can buy more. These are all ICs in a tube. I'm not going to start on this right away. I'm going to finish my daughter's radio. This will be next. These are the metal shells for the case. I'm not going to unwrap all this stuff. There's decals in the bottom. There's more parts over here which are in sealed containers. I'm not opening all that. And then these are wrapped up. I'm not going to open. Well, serial number kit. That must be labels you put on it. We'll take a peek. This is wrapped. Don't know what it is. I don't want parts all over though. Oh yeah, I'm glad I opened it. There's your front panel. And it's not real big. But that's nice because you can do it, you take it mobile, and it's a full featured transceiver. You know, you can use it for all your different modes, as I've already mentioned. My goal is to learn Morse code, which I'm in the process of doing, build it for Morse code, use it for Morse code. I may end up adding the single sideband kit to it. One reason being I like digital. You need single sideband, you need upper sideband to run digital modes like PSK31 and JT65. I do run those on my other radios and enjoy doing so. So I may get the single sideband just for that. I don't actually talk a lot on the radio, interestingly enough, and I think there's a lot of ham radio guys that don't. I do here and there, but not much. I like the building side of the hobby. I got into listening, and then I got into building small kits, got my license, and then I got into restoring old radios and learning about electronics, and part of the license is learning about electronics. But I like building, and I like restoring old and doing electronics. So I've always wanted to build one of these, and now I finally feel I have enough experience with electronics that I could successfully make this thing work, hopefully. That will be the fun of it. So this will be my winter project. I don't know how quickly I'll get it done. I have no time set. Don't care how long it takes. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do it right, make sure it's right, make sure it's working. And we'll do some series on it, building it. By the time I get this, I know I've said this before in my videos, I want to get a camera that plugs into my computer so I can see on the computer screen what I'm doing, instead of working off this tripod and not being able to see through the viewfinder at the same time that I'm taping. By the time I'm building this, I'm going to get that working. But the next thing you're going to see, I'm going to finish doing my daughter's radio. Once her radio is built, we start on this in the fall. Thanks for watching 73.